My teaching philosophy is eclecticism, in which multiple philosophies, ideas, and concepts are combined. Assuming the setting, of course, is a diverse democratic republic such as the US, I believe the purpose of schooling initially is to mold youth into educated citizens. This might sound like homeschooling, but it's not. I believe that the roots of schooling and education should be based in essentialism. However, we should not focus solely on one philosophy, but select appropriately from multiple theories. These include, but are not limited to, idealism, progressivism, and social reconstructionism. I think that curriculum from childhood through adolescence should be ever waning from early cultivation of essentialist foundations to expansion in areas of interest to the student, like a balancing act or a teeter-totter. This is a picture from the Mexican border where a while back a group of artists set up teeter-totters so that children on either side of the border could play with each other. Pretty powerful, right? The role of a teacher as fashioning members of the community should be fused with the responsibility of balancing teaching methods from multiple philosophies. This allows the student to assume the role of realizing not only their interests, but how they learn best in order to become the best John or Jane Q. Public possible. This is a political cartoon of John Q. Public. The purpose of education is to benefit society as well as the student. These concepts, particularly in the US, started in the minds of our earliest political leaders, one of those being Thomas Jefferson, who believed that the young republic depended on educated citizens who could understand the issues in the society and therefore would elect good leaders who would sustain the balance between liberty and order in the new young democracy. I believe that this still holds true today. However, it is also important for us to take an eclectic approach through learning other philosophies and integrate them appropriately. The purpose of education in school is to teach students how to be participatory citizens in society. Various teaching philosophies focus on how to best accomplish this task. In addition to essentialism, other philosophies provide important purposes. Idealism promotes the student to make connections with what they are learning. Progressivism promotes hands-on learning experiences, which we can see in the picture here. Social reconstructionism uses the classroom as the place to improve social ills, as well as to break down social constructs and challenge stereotypes. We can see in the picture here, the student activist. Essentialist roots, especially in childhood, are important. The student needs to grasp these fundamentals before they can move on to more complex subjects. As the student attains these basics throughout their education, the essentialist focus should incrementally decline while more focus is given to other philosophies to help the student realize their interests. As the student's education progresses away from essentialism, other philosophies prove useful to the curriculum. Idealism focuses on material, promoting real-world examples for the student. Progressivism stresses hands-on courses and goals of the student, especially post-graduation. Here's our second student activist. Social reconstructionism uses critical thinking through a cautious lens of how ideas may be portrayed, thus urging the student to study important social issues, conduct interdisciplinary research to problem solve and connect with the community. It is the nature and role of the student to learn areas of interest to them, but more importantly, it is the student's duty to achieve a realization of how they learn best. Successful adoption of these roles will ensure their ripening into a valuable citizen. Prior to this, however, it is important for the student to embrace an essentialist role. This could include just sitting still, being quiet, looking forward, and readying themselves to learn. This may also involve memorizing information provided by the teacher and applying it appropriately. As a student progresses and attains these basic fundamentals, it is then important for the student to engage roles through the other philosophies in order to help them realize their interests and best learning methods. The student benefits from beginning to shed their essentialist role and taking on those under other philosophies. Through an idealist role, it is important for the student to ask why and engage the teacher in order to better understand the material they're learning. As a progressive student, it is important for them to actively engage their lessons through hands-on learning experiences, such as projects that support their interests. The student's role in social reconstructionism is that of an activist, attempting to change social problems and constructs in society. Think back to our activist students. It is the nature and role of the teacher to focus on developing the student into an educated, participatory member of society. Second to this, it is the responsibility of the teacher to balance various teaching philosophies, strategies, and methods that best fits the needs of the student. As an essentialist teacher, it is the role of the teacher to provide specific and accurate information to a student to further their knowledge of the fundamentals. Later in the student's education, the teacher should take on roles of other philosophies. It is in furthering from an essentialist role, the teacher will balance roles of the other philosophies. Under idealism, the teacher will provide direction, aided assignments, and facilitate student participation. Through progressivism, the teacher's role is to guide the student's curiosity and compel them to engage material, especially of interest to them. Under social reconstructionism, the role of the teacher is to inform students of social issues, encouraging them to take the lead to study them and problem solve. The teacher also uses the classroom as an environment in which they, with the student, attempt to change social problems and constructs in society. It is through the balancing of teaching philosophies and methods that the teacher will truly fulfill their purpose of guiding the student to realization. Essentialist teaching methods consist of the teacher taking a position front and center. They may find it helpful using chalk or whiteboards, smart boards, teaching from textbooks, implementing worksheets, and assigning homework. Moving away from essentialist teaching methods, other philosophies involve teaching methods with justifiable effectiveness as well. Idealist teaching methods are similar to essentialist ones, but may include an increased use of things such as manipulatives, small group work, and increased interaction between the teacher, the student, and fellow students. Progressive teaching methods consist of the teacher providing the student with something to do, such as hands-on activities and projects. Social reconstructionist teaching methods consist of teacher-facilitated dialogue and debate, student-led research, as well as community service and outreach projects. I believe that essentialism is at the core of schooling and education. However, it is the responsibility of the teacher to help develop an educated citizen through an eclectic approach that introduces or even combines and presents methods of multiple philosophies to the student. These philosophies could include idealism, progressivism, and social reconstructionism. Through this duty, the educator fosters an environment for the student to procure realization of their individual interests and best learning processes, encouraging the student to become the best member of society possible. Take a moment to reflect on this member of society. Thank you.